Hey troops, Roxy here and welcome to Roxy Plays Games and welcome back to episode 2 of Around the World in 80 Days in Xplane 11. So before I go on, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who has liked my previous videos and also everyone that has subscribed to the channel. So thank you guys, it's really appreciated. I've said this before, but I am humbled. I've got no intentions of being some YouTuber star. I just want to get some content out there to help people in the community and, well, anyone that isn't in the community as well. If you just happen to stumble across these videos, if they help you and you have a better gaming experience from my videos, then I've achieved my goal. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Right, so the plan today is I'm going to be doing the last go through of showing you how to do Sim Toolkit Pro, because hopefully by now you'll know how to do your flight planning. If you're not quite sure, go back and watch my previous videos that I've done in flights where I've got this at the start, and also the tutorial on Sim Toolkit Pro. After this, I intend on having this all done before I start recording, so obviously you won't see this part of it on the video, which then leaves me a little bit more time so I can add in other things. So other plans I have going forward with this series is doing a live in-game ATC, so I'll have that going on. And then eventually getting onto VATSIM. So I kind of use the in-game ATC as it's a kind of a stepping stone. So there's no pressure. You just click a button and it tells you what to do, and the ATC talks to you. And if you get it all wrong, it doesn't really matter. It'll just keep saying the same thing over and over. But you get used to the different procedures, and then obviously the VATSIM is going to be the end goal. Right, so let's get ourselves onto our flight planning. So we're going to generate a new flight. We're departing from Brindisi in Italy, and we are going to Cairo in Egypt. So that's kind of the closest decent airport. Well, I say decent, I hope it's decent. I've not been there yet. But yeah, the closest one to Suez, which was the end of the second leg that Phileas Fogg did. Unfortunately, there isn't a airport there, so I've just gone for Cairo, which is kind of close. Right, so it's currently 8 Zulu. So we are going to give ourselves 20 minutes should be, well, 20 minutes will be plenty of time to get everything going. So let's go for an 8:25 departure, and then generate plan. So we've got about 19-20 minutes. Okay, so that's done. There's no SID. Oh, there is SIDs. There's no SID put in here. Let's have a quick look. So that's going that way. So basically what I'm looking at is where these are going to be taking me out. That's kind of going roughly in the right direction. So let's have a look at this one here, see what this does for us. So that's taking us out, and then we're doing a left and a... You know something, I'm just going to do a manual departure. So I'll just do a heading select once we depart, spin it around, sorry, yeah, I won't give up my day job, don't worry. I'm back in here. I'm not going to worry about the star until we're in the cruise, so let's hit fly now. Because the thing I'm interested in is the altitude that we are going to be flying at and our block fuel. So let me move this out of the way, and let's do an ad hoc flight. Right, let me quit out of that because I was having a quick look and I forgot to close that down. So ad hoc flight, our plane is currently in Limbrissy, because that's where we're heading from. Brindisi, I keep saying Limbrissy instead of Brindisi. We're going to HECA, so that's all good. I've had a quick look at the prices, that's what I was just doing a second ago, so I can save a bit of time. I can go maximum prices on that again. Purchase service we're going to go for, we're going to have a 10-minute boarding time, not 105, wow, 10-minute boarding time, set the start time to 0 minutes, and we said we were going to depart at 8:20, so we've now got 11 minutes. Yeah, that's enough time, isn't it? No, let's give ourselves an extra 5 minutes. There we go. I am using the Zebo Copilot plugin, so that's going to speed up the process anyway, but I don't want to be late for departure. Right, our block fuel, if I just get my sim toolkit up, block fuel is 10,214, so let us add in a tiny bit of fuel, 10,214. It's a smidgen of fuel, but we'll get this as close to sim brief as we can. There we go, 10,214 on our fuel. That's going to cost us peanuts. We're on gate 1, we're cruising at an altitude of 29,000. Let's accept route and fly. So we've got our information there, so we can put that into Xplane. So let's jump back over there, close that down, and here we are in the plane of Xness. Right, so we want to go fuel and balance, payload. Right, fuel is 10,214. 10,214. Return, and then our payload total is 12,937. 12,937. Click OK on that. Go home. Start flight leg. So passengers can now start getting on. We're not going to have long for boarding. We've got 5 minutes, so that'll be reasonably quick. Let's close you down. Let's go into our Xflight server plugin. Again, I'm going to have this all set up going forward to save a little bit of time. Departing at 0825. Going to HECA. Send flight plan, and then connect, and then we can press tab to minimize that. Right, let's go over to the FMC, put all this information in, LIBR, gate 1, IRS, going in there, a route, LIBR, I just need to hit my SimBrief downloader, and then we can go HECA01, flight number ROX 333 please, thank you. Activate, execute. Runway, what runway are we using? Runway 31 is our departure runway. Perth init, do that. Reserves of 1, costing 36, flight level 290, cruise wind. Let's have a look. Top of climb, cruise wind is 26024. 26024. Outside temperature is -36. Execute. N1 limit. D rating of 1. Takeoff. Flaps 5. Center of gravity. Trim 475. That's okay there. V1. V rotate. V2. 147 is going up here. Because I am going to be flying, hand flying, or going on a heading select initially, I am going to add on 15 to that. Let's go departure and arrival. We're not using a SID, so we don't need to worry about that. Our arrival runway is runway 23 left. Runway 23 left. I haven't looked at any transitions, there's no star, so let's click execute and then go legs, make sure there's no issues on this, otherwise it'll mess up the speeds. We've got a brake here, so let's go like that and execute. And that's that done. So that was quite quick. I'm not expecting you to follow along with that. If you do need a more detailed, slower tutorial on how to input the information in the FMC and where to drag it from SimBrief, then please let me know and I shall do a separate tutorial on that. I personally like to go FMC and progress on this screen so I can see my timings, look at the wind and all that sort of stuff that's going on. Right, so we got 1 minute left on our boarding process, so we'll just wait for everyone to come in and then we will do our welcome. What we will actually do is, no, we won't. I was going to call better pushback, but we'll wait. Let's have a quick look outside. So this is the plane that we are in. Looks like everyone is on board now. They've taken the steps away, so we'll go back over here and we'll do our welcome.
Fox, this is Captain speaking. We're just in final preparation here for departure from the gate. Maintenance is wrapping up one final item that they needed to take care of before we depart. Still pretty close to right on schedule today. Should be just a few more minutes. Maintenance will wrap up, hand us our logbook, and we'll be on our way. Thanks for your patience.
Cool. Right, so let us put our altitudes in here. Like I say, I will be doing a full cold and dark startup on this particular plane, so if you do want one sooner rather than later, please let me know and I shall do that sooner. Righty, we got people coming on. Let's do our pre-flight.
Beginning pre-flight procedures.
And let us get better pushback requested.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
So we're heading up that direction to runway 31. So let's
ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, enter on that. It's already pre-done. Here's the tug coming. It didn't appear from underneath that plane, honestly.
Pre-flight procedures completed.
Right, I'm going to open this door. Oh.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all call, thank you.
Oh, it's already open. This door will close fairly soon. I will open it back up so you can hear what they're saying behind.
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
I will. Thanks. Oh, there it goes. We'll open you back up. Just so you can hear what's going on in the background. There's not much more. There's not much more for me to talk about now. We'll just let things happen.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Thanks. I think everything's all set up there. That's all good.
And we are at departure time. At this time, we need large electronic devices, laptop computers, to be turned off and stowed. Smaller electronic handheld devices may be used, however they must be switched into airplane mode at this time, and all calls and texts terminated.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay. releasing parking brake. In fact, no, we got a few minutes yet. We've got 7 minutes, so let's have a quick look at the flight schedule, see what's going on here. So it's 9:18 local, 9:14. So this guy, if I click on this, so he's departing. This guy here is departing soon. So we want to try and get out before this guy. So let us take off our parking brake.
Starting push back, and you may start engines.
So we're not waiting for him. That's the runway that we're taking off. So this is runway 31, going from right to left, where this guy's about to take off. So we are going to taxi down this taxiway, go over runway 31, take a right over this runway here, along and then around where this plane is. So we can kind of see it's like a cross shape runway. So let us get in the plane and get the engine started.
Engine 1 timing. Start valve open N2 rising.
And now we'd like you to pay attention to the following safety video.
First, please fasten your seatbelt. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle and pull the loose end of the strap to tighten. To open,
25% N2.
We recommend you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times, as turbulence can occur unexpectedly.
as we prepare for takeoff, please be sure your seat back and tray table are up and carry-on baggage is under a seat.
Smoking is not allowed at any time. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors in the lavatories may result in a fine.
U.S. law requires passengers to comply with all signs and crew member instructions about seatbelts and
Engine
smoking.
2 timing.
So that you may follow
Start
along,
valve open
we have
N2
provided
rising.
a safety instruction card in your seat pocket.
All exits on this airplane are clearly marked. Please refer to the safety instruction card to locate your nearest exit. Keep in mind, the closest exit may be behind you. On this airplane, life rafts are located in ceiling compartments.
25% N2.
And some exits over the wings are equipped with an evacuation slide. Some slides, except those over the wings, may also be used as rafts. This aircraft has escape path lighting in the island. Red lights or an exit sign will indicate you have reached an exit. In an emergency evacuation, leave all carry-on bags behind and quickly proceed to the nearest exit.
If the aircraft cabin loses pressure, the panel above
Starter
your seat
cut out.
containing oxygen mask will open automatically.
While remaining seated with your seatbelt fastened, quickly reach for the nearest mask and pull down firmly to start the flow of oxygen.
Put the yellow cuff over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic band over your head and tighten by pulling the straps on either side. Breathe normally.
Even though oxygen is flowing, the plastic bag may not inflate. Always put your own mask
Operation
on
complete.
first.
Set parking brake.
Help others near you.
A light vest is located under the seat.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
The safety instruction card shows the exact location.
To use the vest, open the cover by pulling the red tab or compartment handle to break the seal.
Remove the vest from the package like this.
Put the vest on over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, and attach the buckle. Pull the loose end of the strap to tighten.
Once outside, pull down on the red tab to inflate the vest, or blow into the red tube on the side of the vest. There is also a light that will illuminate upon contact with water. Never inflate the vest inside the airplane. If necessary, an infant life vest will be distributed by a flight attendant. The safety card shows how to use the vest.
The crew will now be coming through to do a final cabin check. We'll be back after takeoff with more information about your flight.
Awesome. Right, so
Always disconnected. Bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
let's wait for the tug to give us our hand signal. Got this guy here coming in. He's going to be parking up on ramp 10. So it's going to be down the bottom end. So we'll just wait for him to come down this way a little bit and turn in. Let's go a medium on that one. Right, we've got our hand signal, but I am aware this plane's coming down here and he's going into ramp 10, which should be at the end. But I'm just going to give him a bit of space, just in case he gets lost and wants to go and ram me. But what I will do is do our before taxi procedures.
Beginning before taxi procedures.
Brakes are all working good.
Before taxi procedures completed.
Thank you. Right, we can put flight directors on. We can put auto throttle on. We can go heading select. And we can go speed. And what we will do... Whoa, 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 what did, whoa. We won't go speed. I forgot. We want to go VNav. We'll go speed later on, if we need to. Good job the brakes was on, otherwise we would have been running down the runway. Right, so yeah, you can hit the speed button, but make sure your auto throttle is off. Otherwise you just do what I was just doing then. Do 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 do. So like I say, we're going down here, we're going to turn right, we're going to turn right, we're going to take off. Once we, I don't know, get above 10,000 feet or so, we will cut the video, and I will then bring you back at top of descent, rather than doing the full video of the whole flight, because there's not going to be much to talk about while I'm just recording. What I will do is on the shorter flights, so the flights that I use the ATC and VATSIM, I will definitely be recording the whole of that flight. I mean, there's going to be elements of it that will be quiet, but that's all fine. It's all fine. And if anyone would like me to do a live kind of stream, so that I can do a walkthrough talk through with you to get this bird going, then just let me know, and we'll try and schedule that in at some point. Right, just double check, nothing coming in. Nope. So we're going to go down the end of here, turn right, and then take off runway 31. We're going on a heading select, so the heading is 314. So we want 314 on our heading select. And then once we kind of bank round and get back on, because this is the direction that we're actually flying along. I've got a plane coming in here, so we'll wait for this guy to land. Yeah, so once we spin around and heading, which is pretty much on the direction that we are taxiing at the moment, we can then go full autopilot following the flight plan. So we'll just land here, we'll put on our parking brake and watch this guy come in, and then we'll wait for him to come off the runway and we'll take off. So quite a busy airport, this place, considering it's pretty bleak. It seems the further you head out of places like the UK and America and stuff like that, or the main parts of America, the less popular airports, I'm going to say, have less scenery in them. There's not much going on here really, to be fair. But it's fine, you know what I mean? We're not really too concerned with what's going on here. Right, this guy's taxiing out, so I'm going to wait for him to cross over the runway. We don't want him being in the way and colliding with him, because no doubt he'll just go straight across. We'll do our before takeoff procedures.
Before takeoff procedures.
Flight attendants, please be seated for departure.
Before takeoff procedures completed.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Ah, he's waiting. Good, good. Good boy. Let's start our chrono. I'm just looking at plane down the end of the runway. So you're going to turn off. You're going to ramp 1. I'm waiting for him to do whatever he's doing. Can't quite see. Come on, dude. Get off the runway. I'm not sure if the taxiway. Let me have a quick look at the map on Sim Toolkit Pro. I'm not sure if he's going to have to backtrack. No, he shouldn't do. He should be able to just turn off there, which it looks like he's doing now. Good. Right. Parking brake off. And Toga. And we're off, guys.
Takeoff thrust set.
We're off to see the wizard.
Airspeed
The wonderful
alive.
wizard of Cairo. Sorry.
80 knots.
Going crazy. Going crazy in my old age.
V1 rotate.
P1 rotator. Come up.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Put the nose back down a little bit.
1000.
A little bit steep there. Right. Let's go. What's the word I'm looking for? Autopilot on, and we're going to do. Let's do a left bank. We'll do a left 90 here. I should have put takeoff lights on. My bad, my bad. Right, let's go flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
And flaps up.
Flaps up.
And after takeoff procedures.
Gear off, auto brake off.
So there's the airport we just departed from. So let's do another left hand bank. We'll go parallel with the runway and then get ourselves onto our flight plan once we've gone past the runway or the airport.
Standard set.
Okie dokie, looking good guys, looking good. So we're pretty much heading in the direction of our flight plan. So if I just bring in Sim Toolkit Pro, so you can see this is where we departed from. We've done a left hand bank, so we're heading parallel with our flight plan. and then what I'm going to do is once I get to probably around about here is I'll go into the FMC, reactivate this waypoint, and then put on our LNAV. Righty, so let's get back into the plane. Here we go. So you can see here on the FMC we got the waypoint that we're heading to. All the flight plan is running along here, and we're running almost parallel. Wow, the words today just are just not playing with me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the FMC. We're just going to double click on this one, and then that will reset it. We click execute, and what you can see now is we've got this line is moved over. We can hit LNAV and we will do a left hand bank and follow the flight plan. We've gone
10,000 feet.
There you go, we've passed 10,000 feet, so let's do our 10,000 feet
Center tank fuel check pumps on.
procedures.
Beginning 10K climb procedures. 10K climb procedures.
But basically that just turns the lights off.
Gentlemen, the seatbelt sign will be switched off shortly. However, for your own safety, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt loosely fastened in case of any unexpected turbulence. We have an excellent team on board today, and we are all happy to offer you any assistance you may require throughout the flight. Our in-flight entertainment has begun.
So the Zebo Copilot plugin does have a few little niggles now and again. Sometimes it will not turn the engine start switches to continuous. It will leave it on auto, so then when it goes to the next stage it puts them back to starting, which is on GRD. Not a problem, just turn it back to auto, that's fine. And it also doesn't change the position light from strobe and steady to steady at 10,000 feet, but that's fine. I mean, we can do that manually, it's not an issue, and even if you didn't do it, it's not going to cause any major dramas. But that's us, guys. We are, well, we're just going to be climbing now until 29,000. Oh wow, 29,000 feet. I need a coffee, I think. I just wanted to basically get this done. Like I say, the schedule for these videos is the main one predominantly is going to be on a Monday. Any secondary flights I'll do on upload on a Saturday, and any tertiary ones I'll do either on a Wednesday or Thursday. Probably not a Thursday because we do multiplayer flying on a Thursday, but if I have to, I have to. I'll just get the third flight in that particular week done on a day that week if I need to. But most of them are going to be uploaded on a Monday, but I may record them a couple of days before. So as an example, this one I'm recording on Friday, I'm going to be uploading on a Saturday, so obviously you're going to be watching from Saturday onwards, but I'm actually recording this on Friday just so I've got a bit of flexibility on Saturday. Saturday is generally a bit of a busier day at home, everyone's off school, the kids are off school, the missus is at home, so for me to try and find a quiet slot for 2-3 hours is near on impossible. So I thought that I would record this Friday morning while the kids are in school, Mrs. is in work, and I have a good few hours of freedom, I suppose. So I'm going to love you and leave you now. For you guys it's going to be a matter of seconds. For me it's going to be a couple of hours. We've got roughly, as you can see up here, our ETE. It's a little over 2 hours, but that's all fine. I shall speak to you in a few seconds. And we are back, guys. So obviously it's been instantaneous for you. For me it's been a couple of hours. We're currently 65 nautical miles from top of descent. So what I want to do now is kind of sort our arrival out, because at the moment if we go back over to Sim Toolkit, you can see that we're over this waypoint. We're going to come to BLTs, BLT, and then straight down to HECA and then in, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a chart. Now obviously this isn't a tutorial. Oh my lord, words are still failing me, and I've had a couple of hours of eating and drinking. Not alcohol, by the way. This isn't a tutorial on charts, okay, but I am going to very quickly show you what we can do in this if you have the relevant applications. So we're going to HECA. This gives us our frequencies. We're going into 23 left, so we need frequency of 108.7. So let's go 10870, put that on the active. Do the same one here, 10870, put that on the active, double check, 108.7, course 225. So we need to put course on here of 225, and the same on here, this way please, 225. And then if we click on this little icon here, as you can see there's no arrival, but we have got a bunch of approaches, and we're going in ILS 23 left. So this gives us now some charts. So we've got this waypoint here, CVO, which we've got here 17 miles away. Yeah, when we get here, we're then going to bank left, follow this around, and then in. Okay, so I'm actually going to manually add in do some waypoints, or should I? No, we'll get to CVO. CVO we want to be at, or the VOR we want to be at 4,500, and then at D13.4 we want to be at 2,100. So that's our first point here. So CVO, let me just double check. Oh, just knocked off my autopilot. CVO 4,392. Yeah, we'll stick with that. It's close enough. And then D13.4. We need to be at 2,100 feet. Now it doesn't have those waypoints in. The C123L and the F123L is going to be the final bits before we get to the runway, which is totally fine. But what we're going to do is once we get to this VOR, we're going to go on a heading. Now what I'm actually going to do, if I go back over, sorry, keep going back and forth, if I go back over to here, as you can see, if I actually move the right thing, I'm having a bit of a nightmare today, sorry. If I take follow off, so as you can see, we're going to get to BLT, we're going to go to DEGD by the looks of it, and it's straight down to this VOR. Now we don't want to be going to the VOR and then having to do that manual turn, because it's quite a sharp turn. I want to be kind of over here somewhere, give myself enough time. So what I'm actually going to do is from this waypoint here, we click on this arrow, and then I click by this waypoint, and then drag it out to somewhere around about, because I want to come in, I still want to come into the CVO, but then obviously CVO we're going to go off on a bit of a direction. So let's say here. So I'm going to left click, and then I'm going to have a quick look at that. So basically what that's doing is giving me distances, which is great. So let me take that arrow off. So as you can see, we're going to be heading on a bearing of 181 degrees for around about 68.5 nautical miles. Just before I get to this this point here, I will then go lock back onto the CVO. So essentially the plan is, I'm following the flight plan at the moment on the nav. When I get to here, I'm going to go on a heading select down to here, and then when I get to here, I'm going to lock back onto the flight plan to head over to CVO, and then on the way I'm going to go back onto heading again and follow that flight chart around, along and in on 23 left, which is this one here, and then we'll have a little bit of a taxi to the airport. That's the plan. I can't guarantee it's going to go perfectly, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So let's get back over to the plane. So as I say, we're going to be kind of coming down this direction, kind of down here, and then into CVO, and then follow this around and in. That's the theory behind it. Practically, I can't guarantee it's going to work perfectly. Things can always go wrong, but we're looking good. We're just coming up to top of descent now, so I'm more than happy. Our passenger satisfaction at the moment is at 100%. It says ETA of 50 minutes, but as you can see, we're due in at 10:45 and it's 10:21, so we've got about 24 minutes until we arrive. So we're going to arrive a little bit early, 25 minutes or so early, which is totally fine, but then I may end up having to do some go-arounds or some adjustments, because I've never been to this airport before. I don't know whether the ILSs are going to be functioning. I have, after thousands of hours, well not thousands, but over 1,000 hours in Xplane, I have on rare occasions come up to an airport, put all the frequencies in, etc., like I've done, and it's shown up on here, but it's just, for some reason, it's just not worked. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a bug with that particular airport. I don't know if scenery affects it. I don't have scenery for Cairo, so it's just the default scenery, so there shouldn't be a problem, but again, I don't know. I've never been there, so it's going to be trial and error. We will see what happens. It's very rare that it does happen, that I can't lock onto an ILS and let the autopilot land, but hopefully, I'm going to say that with a little chuckle, hopefully I'm capable of manually landing this baby. It is quite a simple plane. Right, so we are now descending, so let's do our descent announcement. Did that work? There we go.
Flight deck here. We're on our descent. Seatbelt signs going to be back up for our arrival. If you're up and bound, please return your seats, fasten your seatbelts. Still showing well ahead of schedule. Thanks again. Hope you have a nice week. Have you on a carrier very shortly.
Oops. I forgot to put the cruise lights on. Never mind. It's immersion stuff, that is, anyway. It's weird how when I just fly normally I remember everything, but then when I'm doing a video I forget little things like that that isn't important, because I have a checklist of stuff that I follow, but I don't include these things like the announcements and the lights within the checklist. Maybe I should add them in there, but obviously not everyone has the Zebo 737. Some people might be using a default or a different version of the 737, which may not have the AVI tab in. I don't know if the other versions have an AVI tab or not. And obviously if you don't have an AVI tab, then all of this stuff on here is irrelevant anyway. But going back to a conversation I had with myself earlier, if you would like a more detailed tutorial on the 737 Zebo, going through everything, the whole cold and dark procedures, putting information in, dragging the information from SimBrief and what information you put where in the FMC and where you get it from. if you would like that, then let me know. I have done a previous video, kind of a private one for a couple of guys in the community, but I'm more than willing to do, I've got hiccups, I'm more than willing to do another one as part of this around the world trip, and just extend the video so it includes all of the procedures that we need to do. So what I could do is do not show the Sim Toolkit Pro setup part, because like I say, I've done that a few times now, so you can just watch one of those videos. And the same with Air Hauler 2. Hopefully now you know how to do an ad hoc flight. If not, watch the previous videos and just crack straight on. I can set them up before I start recording and literally just jump in here, do a cold and dark startup, and do the flight. So take it all the way up to top of climb, so you can see what I do along the journey. Obviously there's a bit of a chunk of that's going to be very quiet until we do get to the cruise altitude, and then again bring you back at the top of descent and go through everything. But rather than using the Copilot plugin, actually do it manually, so you can see where all these different switches are, should you not want to use the Copilot plugin. I generally don't use it. I certainly don't use it in the multiplayer flights. I just use it when I am doing these videos, because it reduces the time that I have to do certain things. I can just click a button and talk away while things are happening. So yeah, that's that. Right, we need to head off on a heading, which I was a little bit delayed in doing. So we want to head, I'm actually going to change the heading. Let me just delete that one that I've already got, because we've kind of gone past that waypoint. So I want to head from there down to about there, 185. Heading select. Let's do that. CVO is there, so let's say if we get to this river, that should be good. And then we can follow the river to CVO. Sorry, I'm talking out aloud here. Cool. Doop doop doo doodle doo doo. Right, so we just got this little bit of a descent now. And essentially what's going to happen is when I get, just before I get to CVO, I will double click the CVO, similar to how we did on the departure. I'll double click on the CVO, so that resets the path to CVO. I'll go back onto LNAV, and then before I get to CVO, I'm going to activate the heading select again, so that we can go on a heading from CVO on a heading of 70 degrees to this waypoint here, and then I'm going to do a left bank to this waypoint here, get VOR lock hopefully, and get ourselves in on the runway. If I don't get VOR lock, I will just do a manual landing. Okay, so we can do our prepare landing when we get to about 10,000 feet. Do our 10,000 feet descent procedures, which is essentially just turning on some lights and switches, putting on the position and strobe to strobe and steady rather than just steady. And the final point before I come in is just let me know what the volume levels are like. I've been recording some of the gameplay, Green Hell to be precise. Uploaded my first episode a little over a week ago I think, and that was fine. I recorded some more, uploaded them, then the game crashed, I couldn't get back into the game, so I had to restart, so I deleted those videos off, uploaded another video, so that was like the the second attempt of doing episode 2, and I was doing a recording last night, which would have been episode 3, and I split it into 2 segments. So I was just watching it back to see where I needed to add in my edits, and the voice volume was horrendous. I could hardly hear myself, and the game volume was I wouldn't say loud, but it was overbearing compared to me talking, and I was like, oh no. So I've had to get rid of the episode 2 that I've done, and I'm gonna have to start that over again for the 3rd attempt. So let me know what the volume levels are like in this. Do I need to increase my vocal volume or decrease it? And again with the game audio, do I need to increase or decrease that? So yeah, please let me know if it does need any adjustment. Right, 13,700. I'm going to take the speed brake off for a little bit. Just watching my speed on the ticker tape, make sure that I don't go above 240. If I start to approach 240, I shall put the speed brake back on. And you can see here, this is obviously the magenta line is what we should be on to CVO, and then it would have been a sharp left and then landing, which we can't really do in this plane. If I was in something smaller, like a Cessna or something, then that would be more practical to be able to do that, because you've got enough time here. In this big bird, it doesn't give you much room for adjustment if there are any errors. And this kind of like white hashtag is the line of the runway. So depending on which direction you can come from, you can kind of look at this display and get yourself onto this line, do any adjustments, and then fly yourself in. And that's what's really handy about this display. You can do all of that adjustments to get yourself all lined up. So what we're doing is we are heading roughly to here, to this point. We will then do a left turn. We'll lock back onto CVO waypoint. We'll go LNAV, get ourselves all straightened up, and then put in a heading select. The runway heading that I need to be on is 225, which is up here, the course. So we'll put the 225 in the heading select, and then when we get to CVO, we need to do the right bank on 70 degrees. So that is, like I say, the plan. It's always best to kind of have this idea in your head of what you're going to do. It might not work out exactly how you want, but there's nothing worse than kind of get into here and going, ah crap, what am I going to do now? I don't know. And then you fluff it up and it just goes all horribly wrong. Again, if I was using the in-game air traffic control, they would be telling me what heights and what headings I need to be on. And VATSIM pretty much does the same thing as well. Obviously it's a live ATC, so they will give you any adjustments and tell you which way to go, depending on how busy it is in this area. Let's bring up our traffic global flight schedule. Let's have a look, see what's going on here. So we've got it's actually fairly busy. It's not horrendous, but yeah, there is actually, yeah, it is quite a busy airport. We should be fine. We'll obviously keep our eyes open. Right, so you can see the white dotted line. This is kind of where I want to head for, to do my left bank. So I'll kind of get myself to here, lock onto the CVO, and then I'll be checking over on my chart. So we're just approaching 10,000 feet, so let's do our prepare landing announcement.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
And if you zoom out on this, it actually shows you a little icon of your plane. So I know it's not very realistic, you wouldn't see this in real life, I don't think.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Obviously I'm not a real pilot, so I don't know for sure.
Level check altimeter.
But for the sim, it's great. Thank you.
Beginning 10K descent procedures. 10K descent procedures completed.
Oh, bit of turbulence going on there. Right, so 10K procedures have been done. So I always get nervous doing this. When I'm flying on my own, I'm not as nervous, but because I'm recording this, I've been flying now for over 2 hours. And obviously the whole talking bits and pieces before starting the flight. So it's a good 2.5 hours or so from when I've started recording the video. Obviously I know a big chunk of it has been taken out. But for me personally, a big chunk before starting the flight, over 2 hours of flying, there'd be nothing worse than something going wrong, crashing or whatever, and then having to start all over again. It's nerve-wracking to say the least. What I will say to you all, a little useful tip here, you can call it cheaty if you want, but if you're using Air Hauler 2 and obviously you crash, you're going to damage the plane, it's going to cost you money to repair, you're going to lose satisfaction and all those bits and pieces. My personal advice to you is, if you think you're going to crash at the last second, hit the P button to pause, go over to Air Hauler 2 and quit. Okay, just quit out of the recording part. Let me quickly show you what I mean, just in case you're unsure. Air Hauler 2. So as you can see here, you've got your flight tracker here. Just hit the quit button and quit out, and then what that will do is will reset the Air Hauler 2 simulation back to your previous departure, and no harm, no foul, as they like to say sometimes. Okay, that's a useful tip, so it saves you having a crash plane, losing the rep, losing the satisfaction, losing money and all those bits and pieces. Yes, cheaty, but it works. Right, so we're kind of getting into where I want to be doing my left bank now. So I kind of want to do a left turn here, then left turn, and then we can lock back onto CVO. So let us turn our heading to there. And we'll go down this way a little bit, and then we'll do another left turn. What I am going to do is I'm going to just double click on CVO just so that it resets the descent altitudes and stuff like that. Oh, not the descent altitude, but the descent vertical speeds is what I meant, sorry. A quick sip of my drink. So a question I've been asked a few times is how do you know when to put your flaps in the correct position? And you've got this little ticker tape. So this ticker tape here is showing you your speed, and you've got markers here, and you can see here it says the word up. So at this point here is when you're going to start moving your flaps. So you'll go flaps 1, flaps 2, flaps 5, and so on to your relevant flaps. And if you go to init ref, you've got your approach reference speeds. So generally you're going to land on flaps 30 unless it's a short runway. You may go flaps 40, and obviously depending on the wind direction as well. We've got a 16 knot wind, kind of off at a bit of an angle, so it's nothing horrendous. So we're going to go with flaps 30, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my next left turn towards CVO, and I'm looking over here at the charts, which seems to be a little bit off. I thought it would have been around about here. It's not a problem. We're heading up to CVO, and then I'm going to do a bit of a right turn onto 70 degrees ease. So we're almost on the CVO. So what I'm going to do again is double click on CVO. That puts the GPS locked onto there. I'm going to go back onto LNAV, so I don't have to worry about heading, and then I can then turn my heading to 70 degrees. So I can pre-plan. Is that the word I want to use? Yeah, we'll go pre-plan, preempt, you may want to say, the heading that we're going to be going. So as soon as we get to CVO, I kind of want it to be more of a straight bit here. I kind of turned a bit late, but it's fine. We're heading up. This is where you would do a hold anyway, so we're actually almost going in the direction that we would want to, not too far off it. But yeah, once we get to this VOR, we're going to head on a heading of 70 degrees. The chart also tells you your VOR frequency, you've got your ILS frequency and course. So these charts are worthwhile learning. It definitely makes takeoff and landings more accurate, less stressful I guess, because you know where you're going. And like I say, if you're going to be going on to VATSIM, you need to know those things. Right, we're going to put our auto brakes to 1. We don't need to go too crazy, because if we have a look at our runway, we don't want to be on that one, we want to go on here, airport info. So we're coming in on 23 left. So it's a very long runway. We've got lots of exit points, but then we need to be taxiing down at the end of the runway anyway, wherever we come off, so we can have a nice long slow down on the runway before we come off. So that's all fine and dandy. Let's go back to this. Coming up to the VOR, so I'm going to get ready to hit heading select. As soon as I hit heading select, we're then going to turn right on a course of 70 degrees. You could
QNH set.
manually put these waypoints in and obviously have the plane fly on those waypoints, but we're not. We're coming up to the waypoint now. As soon as my nose gets into this inner circle, I'm hitting heading select right now. There we go, so it's turning. Maybe should have done that a fraction earlier, but that's fine. We can always make some minor adjustments if we need to. Excellente. So yeah, we're gonna do, let's go for 80 initially. I just want to get onto this line as close as I can, because then it's going to make the turn nice and easy. It's almost like a kind of an ice cream cone shape, kind of the little triangle shape here with the ice cream on the top. Right, so let's turn this now to 70. So now we're on this line, we're going to get to this waypoint, and once we're at this waypoint, we're going to do a left bank. So I'm just going to do a left 90 and then left 90 to get us onto the glide slope. The glide slope will activate once we get to D5.2, which is here, but we'll be able to lock on at the end of it here. And remembering we want to be at 2,100 feet, so I'm just going to adjust this to 2,100 so we don't drop below the glide slope, otherwise
2,500.
it's going to make it a little bit more harder to work out what we're doing. So we're kind of coming down, get to D13.4, which is here, 2,100 feet, maybe a little bit above that, but that's fine. And then we're going to do a sweeping left turn. Well, we've got some clouds, low level clouds. So this is it, this is the arrival approach. It's fairly straightforward. Majority of the time you don't even have to do what I'm doing now. The flight computer will have everything in, but because the there was no star for here, it was just easier for me to do this. And at least you're getting to see this kind of side of how to control a plane. So we're not far off that waypoint. And it doesn't matter if you go past it, because then you're going to have a little bit more time. The last thing you want to do always cut it short, because you're going to have very little time to do any adjustments, and if the ILS is working, get locked on. And because if you're below the glide slope or above the glide slope, then it's going to cause a few little issues. So I'm just going to wait for the plane to be kind of level with this waypoint, and then we're going to do a left 90. And what we can actually do is we can lock onto this waypoint again, like we've done before. So we just double click on that, and you can see it kind of puts in the curve, but we'll do it up here, so it'll actually turn us for us, so we don't have to try and get as accurate as we have to be. So you can kind of see it's not following the curve as we would want to, because we're not going to a waypoint, we're just on a heading select. It's all good. So essentially I'm going to wait until I'm just before this white line again. The white line always comes in handy, so you can kind of get yourself lined up to where you need to be. We've got 4 miles until that waypoint. So probably around about here I will double click on this waypoint again and then hit to the LNAV button. We're at 2,100, which is what we needed to be here, and also here 5.2, which is here. Right, so we're just coming up to that little curve now. So let's double click on this again, execute, and then hit LNAV. Now I could just do a heading select, perfectly fine, does the job. I might have done that a little bit late. Yeah, probably could have done that a little bit earlier, but that's all fine. We're going to go flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
Because the up here is now level with this. And then as soon as one gets here, we'll go flaps 5. And that's going to bring our speed down. And then hopefully we can get VOR lock. Hopefully. Although I'm not seeing anything up here.
Flaps 5.
Let's go flaps 5. We'll just wait until we get past this point here and hopefully we'll see some ILS. I'm a little bit concerned because there's nothing showing up on here. If I hit a VOR lock, it's going to do something I don't want it to do. Right, for experimental purposes, we are hitting VOR lock. I may have to take autopilot off and manually land it in, but we'll see. Yeah, see, nothing's happening. Why are we not getting VOR lock? Am I too see, at this point here we should have VOR lock. If I hit approach,
localizer captured.
Now it's saying localizer captured, but it's turning it off to the right. Where are we going? Yeah, that's not doing what we want it to do. Let's take that off. Let's quickly change this heading. Get back on that heading that we want to be on. And we'll manually land it. So we're going to go vertical speed. Nope, that's not going to work either. That's because I haven't got that on. Nope. Right, we're going manual landing. Bank angle. Bank angle. Thank you. Let's
bank angle.
Get that all straightened up. Sorry, passengers. So now what I'm looking at is this little diamond here to get our glide slope. Gonna go gears down.
Gear down, flaps 15.
And I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more so we can see we need to be off to the left a bit. We need to descend a little bit more because we are above this glide slope. Doesn't help that I can't actually see the runway. Cannot see a single thing. So we're going to go flap 30, and we're going to reduce the speed to 142. There's the runway, we're way above it, so we're going to drop down a bit, touch more. So yeah, everything that you could possibly want to go wrong with your approach and stuff went wrong there. But it just goes to show, just try and stay calm and patient, and you shouldn't be too bad. I mean, the weather is horrendous right now, so it made seeing the runway a lot harder, and there's no puppy lights here. But I'm sure real life pilots have landed in worse conditions than what we are currently.
Minimums.
Right. So we've kind of got ourselves recovered a little bit. Let's bring the nose back.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Cool. And we're down. Let's go reverses. And brakes. And reversers can come
80
off.
Speed brake up.
Beginning cleanup procedures.
Begin cleanup procedures. Turn auto brakes off.
Cleanup procedures completed.
And we are down, guys. Down safely. Landing was acceptable. Considering we had a little bit of a panic on there. Well, not a complete panic
After
on,
landing
but
checklist.
considering that things didn't go quite to plan,
EPU started.
we are alive. So let's stop here.
After landing items set, checklist completed.
After landing items are set, so let's have a quick look at our chart here. So we want to go left along R1, R, and then we'll park up over here somewhere. Cool, right, this kind of looks a little bit desolate. Doesn't look like there's much here. We'll see what it's like when we actually get over to the terminals. But we are in Egypt. There's lots of deserts and pyramids, and that's kind of about it, really. Never been to this airport before, so I'm not quite sure what it's going to be like and what is here. I don't have the scenery for this airport, if there is actually any scenery here. The only thing I can actually see is desert or mud, whatever it is. We have a little bit of a long taxi, that's totally fine. So guys, the end of leg 2, successfully done. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I hope it has been of some use for you, as I'm going a little bit too fast for taxi. Slow down. Yeah, hopefully it's been of some use to you. Sorry about words failing me at certain points. I don't know why this is a thing, but when I am recording videos, when I'm doing it like normally, talking to people and talking to people, wow, again words, I'm normally fine. When I was younger, I used to suffer really bad with stuttering, and when I get nervous, or when I used to get nervous, my stuttering would be even worse. And for some reason, like, this is years and years later, obviously I'm not a child anymore, when I'm doing like my fitness stuff and nutrition, I'm perfectly fine, confident, don't stutter. But doing these videos, I don't even know why, because none of you can see me like face to face. I can quite easily edit the video or delete the video and redo it if I was a complete mong, which I've done in the past. But I'm more nervous doing this than anything else, and it causes my stammer or my stutter to kind of kick in, and my brain failing to engage, I guess. Right, I don't think there's anything coming in, but we'll just double check, make sure. Nope, we're safe. I'm not seeing any planes here, even though the flight schedule looked quite busy. I don't see any planes at all. Interesting. Never mind, we'll park up straight ahead of us. Looks like we need to turn right and then turn left, and then we'll park up over here. So we've been going, or the recording is going to be around about an hour and a half. Obviously you guys will know. I'm just kind of guessing right now. Big chunk of that was the starting area, and then obviously the last part of the descent. And I've done a little bit of talking. I've done more talking in this one, I think, than the last one. But it would be really nice if I was to do this with some other people. Kind of like a walkthrough, talk through of what to do, and then actually doing a flight together. And maybe having a little bit of an artificial ATC. So rather than using the in-game ATC or VATSIM, kind of like just a pretend ATC. Very basic bits. So again, if you guys are interested in any of that, let me know. Currently I'm available to do some stuff. I did have a message this morning. I don't know whether it's good news or bad news, depends on how you look at it. But the gym that I'm working at is planning on opening back up the end of this month. But it's kind of going to be what we call kind of skeleton lessons, because obviously all the kids break up for school holidays the end of this week or next week, and it's going to be the summer holidays. So most people are going to be away, so we generally get quite quiet over the summer holidays with people coming in for classes and stuff. So I don't know when I will actually be going back to work, but potentially I could be coming back to work in the next week or two. It's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing, but it just means that I won't be doing much stuff during the day. Right, let us stop round about there. Okay, parking brake is going on. We shall do our shutdown procedures.
Shutdown procedures.
And as you can see, disembarking passengers, close Xplane, and Alt Tab back to air hauler to complete flight. You don't need to close the Xplane down. There's been an update where you don't need to. They still advise you to do it, or recommend you to do it, but it's not a requirement to actually do that. So let's now go back over to air hauler 2. We are going to click finish flight monitoring, and as you can see here, passenger flight complete, income £134,250, passenger satisfaction 99%. Let's click OK. Passengers disembarked, that was quick. Please close Xplane and return to air hauler to unload any additional cargo. We're not going to close Xplane down, we're going to click finish flight. If you did have cargo and you needed to unload it, or if you wanted to unload fuel, you would click on this button here. We're not going to do that, we're just going to click finish flight. That gives us our results for this flight, as you can see here. So flight time 2 hours 23 minutes, but you guys have only had to put up for an hour and 23 minutes or so. Right, let's click OK. So that's air hauler 2 completed. We're going to go over to Sim Toolkit Pro, and we are going to complete flight. So our shutdown fuel, that's what we started off on. Our shutdown fuel, if I go to fuel payload, is 3317. So 3317, and I got that from this. That's gone down to 3316 now, but that's where we got it from. So we can click on OK, and now that's added to my flights. What we've done on here, so that's all that. Looking good. We can close Sim Toolkit Pro down, and that's it, guys. So again, thank you very much for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like. If you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, drop me a subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything and it just lets me know that what I'm doing is going in the right direction, and if there's anything that you would like to see more details on, or if there's another particular plane, I do plan on doing some tutorials outside of this around the world trip. So I do plan on doing a tutorial on the MD82. It's a stock Xplane large jet, so that'll be that's definitely in my plans to go through. I also plan on doing one on the 732. This is a purchased plane, but again, it's a great plane, and I plan on doing one on that, and also on the Fokker 50. So those three planes will be coming up over the upcoming weeks. But if there's any other planes that I have on here that you would like a tutorial on, so if we've got the 737 800 or 700, they're all pretty much the same, just the different sizes. So I'm going to be doing a tutorial on that one within Hauler 2 and within the around the world trip, because that's what I'm flying. So I'm going to do a full startup procedure tutorial on that. But we can do one on the 747, we can do one on the 767 Concorde if you're interested in that, the Dornier DL228, the Fokker 50, the FJS 732, and the FGS Q400. That's a nice plane as well, if you would like that on that. I'm definitely doing one on the MD82, because like I say, it's a default plane. So if you if you are unable, words failing me again, if you're unable to purchase any planes at the moment, at least you can fly this jet. And there is a default 747, which I'm guessing is this one here. I haven't purchased a 747, but what I did do is I got a free version of a cargo one. I can't remember which one it is. And then we got some GA planes as well. So I purchased the Grand Caravan, the Aerobasque Epic, great plane. The Robin DR401, which I've done in one of my Hauler 2 tutorials, showing you how you manually do the cargo runs for yourself. This is a free plane, so I can definitely do one on that. I'm not going to do one on that one. That plane is plants. Right, guys, I don't drink. Okay, I honestly don't drink. I don't take drugs or anything like that. It's just my brain. There's something wrong with it, I think. The Baron, great plane. It's a free one as well, default plane, so I can do one on that. The Cessna 310, I can do one on that one. The Skyhawk we've done. I did it on the G1000. If you'd like a bit more information on the standard instruments on that one, let me know. The Cirrus Vision, that's a stock plane, little business class jet. We can do one on that one. The Kinga C90, the Let I have done. I won't do one on the Stinson. And that's probably helicopters as well. The Sikorsky is a stock helicopter, so I'll do one on that one. I've purchased both of these two helicopters, and then we've got a bunch of military jets and planes that I like to fly. The Hawk and the Spitfire are my two favourites. The Harrier, I won't be doing a tutorial on the Harrier for a long time, because I am struggling with this one at the moment. It is a very hard plane to master, but maybe in the future I will. So that's it, guys. So thanks very much once again. Stay safe, and I'll see you, if I don't see you for a tutorial or one of my other games, I will see you on Monday for leg 3, where we are going to OBBI. A little bit of homework for you. Try and find where it is. Take care and see you soon.